Welcome to Not Your Average Neighbor, the podcast celebrating inspiring individuals and the amazing work they do in our community. I'm Ann Rochar, your host, inviting you to join me as we shine a light on stories of resilience, connection, and good news. Let's build a neighborhood that uplifts and inspires, one story at a time. Hey neighbors, welcome to Not Your Average Neighbor, where we celebrate amazing people in our community doing incredible things. I am Ann Rochar, your host, and I am so excited to share good vibes and great stories with you. So we are going to dive in, and I'm going to introduce you to my guest. It is my absolute pleasure. He has been a huge supporter of my podcast, and I can't thank him enough. His name is Matthew Salger, and he is not only an amazing human and works as a funeral director at Murdoch, but he also co-founded Together We Achieve with Raymond Seidel, and we are teammates on the 360 home team. So let us welcome Matthew Salger.
Hello.
Hi, Matthew.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Thanks
Good.
again for being here.
I am very excited to be here because I might be a slight fan.
Well, yeah. Okay. I love that. I am a fan of yours. So it's a perfect mashup, as they say. So exactly. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being here. When I think about our love story and how we began our friendship, it goes back 6-ish years. Well, I started Keller Williams in 2019. So I think 2020 is really when we started our little friend Love Fest. And I met you because you are partners with Raymond Seidel, who is the team lead of our 360 home team,
that he is,
as well as a very important person in my life. So I was lucky to be introduced to you. But then, because this area of the country is so small, discovered that you and my husband actually knew each other because you grew up in the same town of Vinton, Iowa. Yeah. Shout out to Vinton.
Right.
And attended a lot of, let's say, church activities, and knew each other through attending the same church. And yes, he's much older than you, but so that was really cool to know that. And then we discovered that you actually were at my mother-in-law's funeral, and I had no idea. And that was actually in 2016. So we met actually before that, but we weren't in.
Nope.
We weren't in a fun, festive mood at that time.
The paths had not crossed yet.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So that is how I know and love you. And like I said, I just really appreciate that you take time to be here and that you always share the episodes. It really means a lot to me. So let us learn a little bit more about you, Matthew. Let's talk about your funeral journey first.
Sure. So I have been a licensed funeral director in the state of Iowa since 2002. Is that right? 97, 99. Yeah, 2002. So I got my license in 2002. And so I started working in Mason City, and then worked in Vinton. I was in Mason City for 5 or 6 years, and then Vinton for about 15 years, and then ended up now at Murdoch's. And so I'm in a 20+ year career in the funeral business. It's definitely something that I've enjoyed over the years, and then of course expanded into other things.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Let's talk about, I mean, I know I'm going to probably catch you off guard with this, but do you have a crazy story about any, like a crazy story in the past, like few years that you can share, like something weird happened? So just to piggyback on that, when times were a little bit slower for me in the real estate, Matthew offered me a position as a hostess with the mostest at Murdoch. And they haven't asked me back lately, but that's okay, it's fine.
You're so busy. You're like this famous podcast star now.
Oh
So
yeah. So yeah,
we
it
have
might
to
take away.
we have to hire security when you come in the building now because you're gonna get rushed. And
Yeah,
no,
no. So I do know how well, unfortunately, I've dealt with a lot of loss in my life,
mhm,
but Murdoch has been our staple that has gotten us through all of the times. And so
mhm.
I just really appreciate them. But is there a crazy story that you can think of that you could share without getting
Uh,
anyone in trouble?
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not. I
Probably not.
figured. I
Because, I
figured.
mean, we deal with so many families in so many different avenues, different
Yeah.
stations in their life, and it's just really, honestly, it's a privilege to be able to help people through that and try and help work through that. Whether it's never an easy situation, but there are easier situations,
Mhm.
and you just have to try and be there and be supportive of the people, the family, and the ones that are around them, and just try and help them through that journey or that final journey with their person that they may have lost. And so,
Yeah.
unfortunately, you do a lot of putting a lot of things in a box because even though I'm a crier, but
Yeah.
you gotta sometimes put it in the box, and that's really hard sometimes, and that's something that people in the funeral business sometimes don't do very well, and then they quickly exit. So
Yeah. I mean, yeah, especially, I mean, you've actually helped with quite a few of my family's funerals.
yeah.
So I
Well, we've had a
know
lot of
how
we've
much,
had family, we've had friends. I mean,
right,
we've lost community members in the real estate community.
right.
That's been something that's been a lot harder, is both in the real estate community and the nonprofit world, and just living in the Cedar Rapids area and working here, is you get to know people really fast.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes not at their best, right?
Sometimes not at their best, and so I think the easy part for me is the comforting part for me, is so that if I can be that familiar face to
Mhm.
somebody,
Yes,
it brings the temperature down so much.
absolutely. And you do
And
such a great job of making people feel safe and
mhm.
heard and honored. And you do an incredible job. So, yeah, I'll start crying right
I
now if
know
you
you're
want
getting there. To stop.
me.
You get to sometimes play. You get to play peacemaker. You get to play referee. Sometimes you bring people together that haven't been together for a really long time, and you see that mend happen. So a lot of those things are really rewarding. And of course, we have the crazy situations, family situations sometimes, because
Right,
family dynamics are so different than they used to be, and
right.
we have to be not only attuned to those changes, you have to be open and sensitive to those changes, that my idea and somebody else's idea of family, or some other organization's idea of family, is different. And we have
Mhm.
to really be sensitive and accepting to that, because people don't need those things to compound
Mm-mm.
their griefs.
What they're already going
Right.
through. Yeah, for
Yep.
sure.
Hmm.
Well, shout out to Murdoch if
Yep.
you ever.
Great place to work. Great team mentality. A very open and accepting company. They accept everybody from all walks of life, with no judgment, and
That's wonderful.
probably one of the things that I value about them the most.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I can attest to that. I've seen it myself. So, yeah, Jeff is amazing over
Yes.
there. So, we love
Shout out
Jeff.
to Jeff. We love Jeff. I'm gonna have to make him watch now. So
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. He has to watch and listen
yes,
to how we are praising him.
exactly.
So
You know.
then after you have that and you have four kids between the
We
two
do.
of you,
Yes.
Raymond and
And
yourself.
we have four amazing boys. They are all so alike and all so different, with all their different activities and likes and things like that. We have 19, 16, 15, and 11. Our two younger two, no, Jordan and Reagan. So are our two, like,
Two littles.
our two littles.
Yeah.
Um, they keep us busy with their activities. And, Gavin and Keenan are just two kids that are just so, they have a lot of caring notes about them. And they're just, we're very fortunate that we've got four amazing kids. I mean,
yes. And that they all get along.
they get along. I mean, they miss each other when they don't see each other. And it really is heartwarming to hear, like,
No.
to hear, like Keenan and Jordan just be like, hey, when are Gavin and Reagan coming over next? And really be anxious to see them next time. And that's really, that means a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
And then you also threw in another thing in 2020. And if people do not remember, Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and parts of Iowa experienced not only a pandemic, but we experienced a land hurricane called a derecho. And you and Raymond just sprung into action. And I think Raymond probably a little bit more at first. And then you were like, we are doing this.
We are doing this. And how can I be supportive? And,
absolutely.
I still remember sitting at home that night, and he's an ideas guy, right? We all, anybody that knows and loves Raymond, he's an ideas guy.
Yeah.
And he was like, how can I help? How can I help a person? How can I help a community? How can I help my neighbors and friends? And so that's when he came up. I still remember operating off of batteries and Wi-Fi cell service that we had in Center Point. He created the Iowa Derecho Storm Resource Group, which is still active today and has, gosh, I think it's like more than 40,000 members in that group.
And that's on Facebook, Iowa Derecho.
Yep. Iowa Derecho Storm Resource Group. And so it's still a place where people can come together. And that's how we initially started, was so that people can share ideas and resources. And, hey, I've got a chainsaw. Hey, I've got a trailer. Hey, I've got a big truck. I've got water, and figure those things out. And then, of course, we launched into taking over. Thank you to Michelle at Keller Williams. And we took over, started in the parking lot, then the whole parking lot, then the entire building, and then out the back and the side and all the places, and brought in all these supplies for the community. And then
it was incredible.
It was incredible to see how the community all comes together. And that really, I don't know, that really kind of, I think, stirred something up. And then as we moved around and saw some different things that came out of the derecho and the pandemic, the struggle that people have with food insecurity in our community, that we don't see because it's not talked about. You can't tell. You can't walk down the street and say, oh, that person's hungry. You don't know. And so through that, we found that this was a really big gap in our community that needed to be filled and addressed. And so then we kind of pivoted. And then during that time, we went from Iowa Derecho Storm Resource Group and formed our actual nonprofit, which is Together We Achieve. And today we're now the largest food pantry in Lynn County.
And you're an evening food pantry, which is huge.
Is huge because people do need to work. While the faith-based food pantries that operate usually on the weekends or during the day are awesome, and they do a great job at filling that gap, you need to have a time where people can go to work and come here, or get their kids from school and come here, so that they can do those things. But then it's also not they don't come here and here's a box of food, see you later. Right. They get to come in and shop, like with a shopping cart, and choose the things that are right for their family from our 17,000 square foot warehouse that we operate out of now. We let people come for food as often as they need to, so they don't feel like they have to hoard food. And it just really is, it's really heartwarming to see that, and to see the relationships that not only we build with the volunteers, because you and your amazing husband and son have all volunteered or been voluntold or something like that, with a lot of our different events and our food box giveaways and different things that we've done here at the center. But we have developed amazing relationships with our volunteers. They've kind of become family. But then also a lot of our clients and neighbors that come in, we know them by first name basis. They ask how our families are. We ask how theirs are. And so it's not like, it doesn't have, I don't feel like we have that stigma of coming to a
It's not shameful, and
No.
they get to come in, and it's a choice food pantry. So
Yeah.
they get to choose what is right for their family
Yeah.
and not be given things that they may
Right.
not be able to use. So
Right. And that just contributes to more waste, right? And we don't
yes,
want, we don't need to waste food. We have plenty of food. We just need to get it where it needs to so that people can get to it. So
yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then on Tuesdays and Saturdays,
Today, actually, today's Tuesday.
yes, it is. You because you are amazing. You also prepare meals
Yes.
for about 200, 250 people
Yeah.
on those 2 days.
Yes.
And if anyone is listening, and you have a group that would like to volunteer to do the meal, it is absolutely something that Matthew would be happy to have you help.
And you know, and it doesn't have to be like super complicated. We try and do things that are simple. We'll even provide the food. They don't have to go out and source the food or buy the food, because we like to source the food from our food pantry, so that people can see like, hey, you know, I can do stuff with, you know, like I've never cooked with dry beans before. I won't cook I won't get canned beans anymore because the dry beans are so much better.
Yeah.
And so we try and show people all the things that you can do with those things, and sometimes, you know, creative and also have to be sensitive to the fact that we do have to make food for almost 250 people, which is no little feat.
No, absolutely not.
So yes, so today is we're having taco bowls today. So
yum.
I just got done prepping the food for the taco bowls today. So
and so is there someone that helps you serve them?
So we have a few people that help serve. We have Daniel Eggers, amazing human, amazing volunteer. He likes to come in and serve the meals. We had to kind of fill an absence after my kitchen besties retired and moved to Florida, because for those that don't know, Christina and her mother, Evelyn, who was 90 plus years old, they prepared the meals for the longest time, for the last several years, from the start of the center until about the last year when they retired. And so then I kind of took over when they wintered and did that. But now I'm the primary cooker.
Yes, you are. You were the chef.
But we have Daniel likes to serve meals. That's one of his favorite things to do. And then we've got a few other volunteers that like to step in and help out in the kitchen and fill out, just help package things up and get them out to people. And so they get to come and get their food from the food pantry, and then they get to place their order and take their meals home, hot meals. They're ready to eat. So they're
ready to go.
Yeah.
It's so incredible. It's such a kind gesture that just means so much, I'm sure, to everyone that comes through on those days. So again, if you're in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, or the surrounding areas, and you have a group that would like to help serve a meal, we'll connect you with Matthew Salger, and he would be happy to have your volunteerism.
Hey, you know what? It's fun. We've had a few groups in, and the Cedar Rapids Area Association of Realtors, they've been here several times and cooked and done meals. We've had a couple of church groups have come in and served and done meals. And then a couple other service groups have been in here as well. And it sounds like a lot of work, and it is, but many hands make light work, right? And and it is a lot of fun, because the people when you give them the meal, they're very grateful.
Absolutely.
It is such it's a weight lifted. They don't have to cook tonight. And a lot of times we encourage people, take one home and give it to your neighbor, give it to an elderly neighbor or somebody else that might need one. And
absolutely. Absolutely.
That's fun.
The Together We Achieve work that you guys are doing is incredible. And I feel like we don't talk about it enough. So cheers and thank you for you and Raymond creating this wonderful space and community resource for those who really, really need it. And you may not need it every day, every month, every year, but if you fall on hard times and you are looking for a little boost,
Yeah.
there's no questions asked.
None. Nope.
So
Nope. None.
there's
There's
no
no.
shame in the game. So
We have
please,
no.
please, please
Yep.
take a look at their hours. They are open Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays.
Correct. Yep.
In
And
the
then for
evening on the weekdays, and then Saturday they are open
12 to 2.
12 to 2.
12 to 2.
And you
Yep.
get a meal.
And you get a meal on Tuesdays and Saturdays, and the weekday hours are 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. And so, and then we also, one other little facet is, we have some people that are mobility challenged; they can't get here, and so we've got an amazing volunteer. Shout out to Bill. Bill is
the best.
Bill is the best. Bill's been volunteering for us since the beginning, and I wish I had a counter and knew how many thousands of miles he's driven delivering meals to Homebound and delivering food to Homebound, because it's not like Meals on Wheels. He actually delivers groceries to people that can't. And so a shout out to Bill, because he's been amazing since the beginning. And honestly, all of our volunteers, I'm thinking right offhand, Laura, Laura.
Yes, I love Laura.
Laura's the best. She's very active in the community as well. And
you're so lucky to have her.
We are. And Craig is our bread guy. He picks up bread for us, so Raymond and I don't have to do it anymore.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And so we've just developed so many good relationships that have made the operations for us very, very easy. And so it allows us to be able to, one, have a life, and two, be able to concentrate on the back end operations that maybe some people don't see. And then our Wednesday crew, they have coined themselves the A team. They embroidered their shirts. And Chris and Mary, mother-daughter, and then Amy and her triplet boys, all amazing people. They take over all the operations on Wednesday so that Raymond and I can have that day to ourselves for family stuff. And then the Declotses from Center Point, Ben, Brian, Nick, and Becky, amazing people. They've been with us since the beginning.
Ben is, that whole family is
they are so sweet, and they come on mainly on Friday and help unload the truck and sort it and put it away, and just they're just such good people, and we've met so many good people. It's just amazing. So
it certainly is. And so bravo to you guys. And then finally, when you can fit it in, no, just kidding. No. You fit it in just fine, because you have a great team as well.
Yes.
You have been a realtor now for
2 years, working on year. Yeah, this will be 2 years working on year 3. Yeah, I gotta renew this next year. So
exciting.
Well, we'll see. I gotta make sure I get my hours right.
You're not going anywhere.
No, I'm not going anywhere. But that's been, it's been a really. I honestly did not start off in getting my license to really like go out and sell homes on my own. It just kind of happened organically. It was more of a supportive role to be able to help Raymond take some weight off and do some of the things that that you can't do without a license, right? And because he's a busy guy too, and I want to be able to help and be supportive, but it has turned itself into I have clients of my own, and so that's been an amazing adventure, and I've been able to get to know the amazing realtors in our community that I didn't know them quite as well, not being licensed, even though I've been around a little bit in the real estate community for the last couple of years, but really being actively involved in it. People I don't think realize all of the good that the realtors do in the community. They don't just sell houses. They don't just open doors. They live and breathe and give of themselves. And if you don't see it, just call Ann or I. Give us a call. We can help.
Absolutely. And we've
got so many amazing people. We
We
do.
do.
Mm.
And it starts at the top with the CRAR board office.
Absolutely. Yep.
I mean, Christy, Kevin,
Christy and Kevin.
and
I
Rachel.
mean, yeah.
I mean, they're so supportive and so awesome. And then it trickles down. And
Of course.
again,
It sets that culture, right?
yes,
Yeah.
my I just want people to understand and experience the great times that we have of volunteering with other realtors, getting to know them better, with lenders, with inspectors. Like everyone has their hands in these types of opportunities, the volunteer opportunities. It just makes your business better.
Of course.
And I love being a realtor. I love our community. And so we are so glad to have you as well.
Yeah. It's just so, you know what, I think it goes well with, you know, your, if I look at my career in the funeral business, and then focusing on community and giving back. And of course, being a realtor ties into that because that's what you do, right?
Right.
If you just sit at home and don't do anything, one, it's going to be kind of sad and lonely, and two, if you get out there, not only are you going to experience all the awesome things that are in our community and are part of our real estate community, but you also get to make those connections. And it's not our goal, right?
Yeah.
We're not out doing these things to get business, because that's not, I mean, I think that is a natural benefit.
Absolutely. But helping at Indian Creek Nature Center, or doing meals at Mission of Hope, once a quarter, or, having some fun at Realtor Olympics, all of those things.
Giving what'd you guys give away scholarships this year? I mean,
I don't want to say, because I believe it's 54, but that could be off a little bit. Yeah, 54.
I remember hearing
students.
50 to, and in years past, I think, gosh, one year, wasn't it last year too? It was like 60 some thousand.
Yes.
I mean,
So
scholarships,
giving away scholarships to students in need that are taking on the next step of their future. We will be celebrating them coming up in July, and congrats to all of the students who have graduated. That's also those that are continuing on to, help their future. That is by far the most, my most favorite volunteer opportunity that I get, but there are plenty.
Yes. I'm going to shout out 2 of our volunteers because they graduated yesterday. The twins, Brecken and Aiden, they graduated from Center Point Urbana yesterday, Sunday. Sorry, yesterday it feels like
it's
Sunday. So they graduated on Friday. So congrats to Brecken and Aiden and their mom Bridget. They volunteered for a long time with us and are great young men, and they will do great things. I know that.
Yes, absolutely.
Aiden, so
congratulations. Yes, their mom is a doll. I just adore her.
Yep.
I really do. So we're going to ask a couple other questions. Why don't we shout out your neighbor, a neighbor that you think is doing amazing things in the community, and just share the love and share maybe some info for those who may not know about this.
So I'm going to shout out Melanie Fetter at Feed Iowa First. Yay, Melanie. She's an amazing person. She has done so many good things at Feed Iowa First. And she's going to be dropping fresh produce off over to us here shortly. And that's what they do. They grow produce. They get it out to different organizations in the community, and it's fresh produce. It's stuff that we may not get that often. And so that's something that's very valued from people in the community, is fresh, grown stuff. And so she's bringing, she said like rhubarb, and I can't remember.
So, I want some.
Yeah, all kinds of good stuff. And I mean, over the years, it's been potatoes and onions and tomatoes, and then she also the amazing work that Feed Iowa First does is they also look at our our different ethnic populations, right? And some of our immigrant populations that are in the area.
Yes.
And they are growing fruits and vegetables and leafy greens that are specific to their cultural
Oh my gosh, I
area.
love that so
And
much.
so they'll bring this stuff, and they have to bring labels or tell us what it is, because it's some of it's stuff that I don't know what it is. But to see some of these families, the refugee families come in,
Yes.
they know what it is and they know what to do with it, and it's
And they are so excited.
so
Because it's
excited, and
not
it's
something that
so
they go to Hy-Vee and get, you know?
right, yeah, exactly. And so I think that's that program at Feed Iowa First is one of the amazing things that they do. And so they've got lots of staff, lots of volunteers. They operate out of a building over by St. Wenceslaw.
Okay.
Cargill gives them a space to use.
Oh,
And
yes. I know exactly where that's at.
and so they grow it, they plant it, they wash it, they bin it up, and then they've got a little van that goes out and runs it around to organizations like ours to get out in the community. And so a big shout out to Feed Iowa First and the work that they do to bring healthy, fresh produce into the community, to those that need it most. So
Oh my
amazing
gosh.
work, amazing work.
Absolutely. And we will share their
Yeah,
information on the all the social medias too,
right.
but it's
Feed Iowa First.
feediowafirst.org. Is that it?
I think it's feediowa1st.org. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, I love that. And I know they have been around for a long time. So we are so fortunate to have so many great people in our community. Like if you really think about it, we're so fortunate to have
yes.
so many resources and
Oh yeah.
people care.
Yeah.
Like Cedar
And
Rapids,
people
no
willing.
joke.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really care.
We are a resource. I'm going to steal this from Raymond because he says it all the time. We are a resource rich community, and we are.
Yes.
I think sometimes where we struggle is how to get those resources directly to the people that need. And that's kind of where we fit in, and at least is for the food insecurity portion of it is, we don't care. We don't ask questions.
No.
Come in.
It is absolutely shame free.
Yeah.
You like I said, you can come once a year or as much as you need.
Yeah.
And they also do, which I love participating in, is the food box giveaways for the holidays.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Thanksgiving and at Christmas.
Christmas
and
time,
they
yeah.
have partnered with some groups that also help bring these boxes together, and it's so fun.
It is.
They get a game, they get a turkey or a ham.
Yep.
They get to have a meal together and enjoy their family time and reduce that stress of worrying about how or where they're going to get that. And it's always my favorite.
Yeah, we always like
out there in the cold.
We've been out there in all the weathers, haven't we? Right? The cold, the snow, the rain. Ugh. But
the dark, the light.
Turkey costumes. We did that. You know,
yes,
that was
you did
fun.
Turkey costumes. Oh yeah.
But it's just fun during that holiday season to be able to provide a meal. And then, the intention of that is that they take that meal home and they prepare it as a group, as a family or a unit or whoever they have in their household. So that again, it's an activity. It kind of ties back to why we chose the name that we did, together, right? Together we achieve.
Right.
And the amazing things that we can do if we work together. So
yeah, it takes many hands, like you said,
exactly,
to help and make these events so successful. And you're so fortunate to have such a good crew of volunteers that continue to show up.
Yeah.
So but it also says a lot about you and Raymond that they want to show up. So congratulations to you all for that.
It does. It makes us, to have volunteers that have been around since, it's 2025. So 5 years, to say that we have volunteers that have been with us since 2020 for 5 years, I think as a nonprofit organization, that's a really, really big thing. And it's not talking about myself or Raymond, right? Because obviously we have been in it since the beginning, since we started it. But the people that show up that don't have anything to do with the back end of the nonprofit and the actual inner workings of it, but But the ones that are, that show up every day. And oh my gosh, I forgot Scott. We love Scott.
Oh
Right?
God, Scott! Scott's the
Scott's
best.
the best. We love Scott.
Yeah, you were waiting until the last.
Yes, the best for
$2,000.
last because we love Scott. Scott is head of corporate tax for Transamerica. He is an amazing volunteer. He's an amazing volunteer. He's an amazing connector. He's a donor. He's just an all around good human.
Yes.
That he connects with people that come to the nonprofit in a way that I am in awe of. He really is able to, when he's helping them in the back or the front, whether they're checking out or they're checking in. It's just really fun to watch his kind of fun banter he has with and the relationship he builds with the neighbors that come in here. And so we love Scott. Scott's the best.
We love Scott. We love Scott.
Yep.
Well, thank you for that. We would be remiss to.
We can't forget Scott. We love
cannot
Scott.
forget Scott.
Yes.
So one last thing that I
Yes.
want to ask you, Matthew Salger, is
Yes.
please, Matthew Salger, tell me something good. We need good news right now.
Good news right now. Okay, so here's great news. We as we continue to evolve and grow at Together We Achieve, we just recently were awarded 2 fairly sizable grants. Those grants announcements will be forthcoming soon. One was here locally, one was not, and so that was a pretty amazing thing to happen. And the other something good is today's meal day, right? So
yes, exactly.
Come and get your taco bowls. Those that are gonna, I guess we won't hear this until afterwards.
No, we won't. But we know
it's Taco Bowl Day. Tuesday's a meal day. It's come and get a home cooked meal. I make everything either here or at home and bring it in. So
yeah, it's quite a feat, and you deserve a lot of accolades for that because it's something that you are really good at. So
I do like. I love to cook. So
well, we're gonna wrap it up because it's just been filled with such good news. I mean, honestly, the whole thing is good news because you are doing such amazing things in our community. And I just am so happy to know and call you friend and love and bestie and all of the things.
All the things that we are.
And Jeff did get the deck all finished, so a pool party will be forthcoming.
Got to get that warm water warmed up a little.
I know.
A little chilly right now.
In it, though. No,
we don't do that. No, we don't do that. No, I'm so excited to be on here, and just because I know it's something that it was a goal of yours, and you've surpassed your goal because you already did your first season, right?
Yes.
First season's a wrap, and you're heading into number 2, and I'm so proud of you for doing that and sticking with it, and making it a really good and genuine experience for anybody that listens to it. It's genuine conversations and real conversations that bring up all of the good stuff that we've got going on. And
and we cannot forget it.
And we have to focus on the good, right? That's where we need to be.
Amen, brother.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. And thank you, neighbors, for listening in. Don't forget to like, click, subscribe, all of the things. Jace, my incredible VA, is working on that YouTube channel. And so the first season should be up and coming very soon. And so we like, click, subscribe to Spotify, Amazon Music. What else? What is Spotify? Oh, Apple Podcasts. Duh. Oh my God. My brain just went.
And if you don't find it, I'll share it to you. So if you don't like it or click it, I'm going to send it to you.
Exactly. Well, thank you again, Matthew. I love you. And I'm sure I'll be seeing you any day.
Probably soon.
Okay.
All right.
Bye. Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.